What's up, guys? Coach Sean here from 20 Performance. Today's topic of discussion is going to be agility. So, like I said, the first thing we want to understand is the definition of agility, okay? I just want to underline a couple of things as we go through this so that we can keep these in mind when it comes to the rest of the video and how we can kind of use this definition to dictate how it is that we train and how it is we can distinguish between what is actually a good drill and what's a bad drill. So it's a rapid whole body movement, okay, with a change of direction, okay, or velocity, so the speed. So it's either going to be a change in whatever way you're going or a change in the speed that you're doing in response to, and this is the most important part, an external stimulus, okay? If I'm doing a drill, let's say it's the 5-10-5, okay? Pro agility 5-10-5. How you do it is basically you run 5 yards, okay? Then you're gonna run 10 all the way back across, okay? And then you finish, the timer stops when you get back past the middle cone, okay? So a classic drill, especially used in the NFL to test agility, okay? Now, the issue with this drill is it doesn't include the external stimulus. If it did, and if the NFL had included this, then it would be an agility drill. However, it's just a change of direction drill. If it does not include the external stimulus, and instead it's either internal, so let's say I'm running this drill, I don't have anyone else to race against, I don't have anyone blowing a whistle, nothing. I don't have anybody chasing me. And I just dictate when I begin this drill. Then there's no external stimulus. Therefore, I'm not training agility the way that I should be trained. So again, going off the definition, okay, there needs to be two of these main things included in your sessions in order to get agility. The first is a change direction or velocity, okay? The goal is to make sure that that's in it, and as long as that's in it, you're halfway there. Second is a response to an external stimulus. So an external stimulus is anything that you're not in control of, okay? Like I said, in that pro agility example, I was in control of when I moved. Therefore, it doesn't include that external stimulus, and it's not agility. Instead, it's a change of direction drill, okay? We can use any of the following below, okay? And these are a couple of things that I like to use in my sessions in order to achieve that stimuli, that external stimuli that I'm looking for so that I can train agility, okay? The first is a person. If I have someone else that I can mirror, I can chase, dodge, anything I can play against. Again, I'm not in control of what they do. I'm not in control of the direction or the speed in which they go at. It's an external stimuli. It can be used and it can help us achieve agility in our sessions. The second is a whistle. As long as I'm not blowing it, it works. My response is going to be based on when that whistle is blown, so it can be used. The last thing is an object, okay? Most of the time in sports, it's a ball, okay? It can be whatever else your sport is, but most of the time it's a ball. We're either trying to dodge the ball, so a game of dodgeball. We're either trying to catch, hit. Examples would be baseball, softball, tennis as well. We're trying to hit the ball. And the last thing with reach can be, I suppose it could be rugby, it could be football, you're reaching out to get the ball. It could be even in soccer when you're reaching in for a slide tackle. Again, that movement is dictated based on what something else outside of your control is doing. So it counts. It's an external stimuli. We're not in control of it. And as long as we have any of these or anything similar, we're achieving agility. Now, we need to remember, again, the definition is response to an external stimuli, okay? Our response can come in two ways. It can come based on a controlled movement pattern or a random movement pattern. So for the controlled movement pattern, okay, let's take the L drill. Switch it up a little bit from the pro agility for now. The L drill is real simple. You're going to run up, you run back, you run up, under, out, back, and you finish, okay? Another drill used in the NFL for agility. But again, there's no whistle, so it's not really agility. Anyways, the movement itself is going to be controlled by the parameters, which in this case is the cones, okay? Now, we can do the same thing without cones, Okay, it's just a set distance. Now, this is the start and this is technically the end, okay? Let's say we have the external stimuli and it's a whistle. When the first whistle goes, the person's going to sprint out full speed running forward. When the second whistle hits about here, they're then going to side shuffle, okay? So the first one is a forward sprint, then the second whistle, they side shuffle, okay? Now the parameter in this case is going to be the movement, okay? So we're dictating technically the movement again here through the cones. Now the external stimuli is dictating the movement. Both of these are two forms of controlled movement patterns, okay? And usually this is what you see when you look up agility videos, okay? In most cases, in the half decent ones, you'll see it. Most of them, it's usually they pull out a ladder and they say it's either going to work your agility or speed, and it does neither, but that's for another video. The second one then is random movement pattern, okay? And this is really, really simple to set up, but it's really underutilized in training. Let's say I set up a box, okay? The only parameter in this case technically is the box. It's keeping them, it's set, but the movement itself isn't really dictated based on the box, okay? There's no cones, there's no whistle that's dictating it. The parameter's just there, just, you know, it's like every other sport. It's soccer field, football, volleyball. There's a set court, set field length. That's it, okay? That's the only parameter in it. The rest of it is completely random, okay? So let's say I have a couple of people here and I have these people chasing them, okay? Their movement within the box is going to be random. The width of the box or whatever isn't really going to be that much of an influence. However, it's more going to be focused on the external stimuli, which are the people chasing, and their movement is dictated based on the stimuli itself. So this movement is considered random, and this is so simple. This is something you did as a kid. It's even stuff that you do during your sport. So if I'm playing soccer, my movement, what I do, how high I jump, how fast I run, how quickly I turn, where I move on the field is all going to be dictated on the ball and my teammates or the opposition, I suppose, okay? So your sport is a clear example of random movement pattern. However, even within that, it can be controlled based on formations and tactics and stuff like that, okay? But if you're just playing a simple game of chasing, like Bulldogs Charge, or as the Americanos call it, Sharks and Minnows, simple game of chasing includes random movement pattern. The movement itself is not dictated by anything other than the person and the stimuli. Now, for this section, this is mainly going to be for people who are training by themselves and are wondering, well, I need an external stimuli, but I don't know how to get it. So here's a couple of things that you can do to get the external stimuli, which, like I said, it's so important because it's going to be the difference between agility and change of direction. But more importantly, it's going to be the part that's going to help. It's going to help the most in terms of how do you get your training sessions to translate into your sport and performance, okay? So the first thing, there's mainly three, but we'll go over the first one, okay? First thing you can do is, okay, so we'll take, for example, again, the pro agility. What you can do is you can set a timer, okay? And the timer has an alarm, and the alarm is going to act like the whistle. So I set a timer for 5 seconds. Within that 5 seconds, I have to get to the start of the drill and I have to get set. Once I hear that alarm, that's exactly when I'm going to take off. I'm going to respond to the alarm, and that's when I begin the drill. That way now you have the external stimuli, and then you'll get exactly with the change direction component of it, you get the agility, which again is going to translate to your on-field performance, okay? Another way in which you can do it, and 2 and 3 kind of tie in together, is you can get an app or you can make a video, okay? The video is going to replicate basically what the app is. So let's say you woke up late, showed up to the field late or whatever, and you forgot your phone's dead, or you didn't have enough memory, or you ran out of Wi-Fi, or whatever it is, you forgot to download the app. Well, the app is going to include either a number call, or it's going to show different colors, or it can even call colors as well. Okay, so for this example, let's say we have a diamond drill. Now, not the most effective drill, but for this example, it's going to be. The app and the video are going to tie in together for the number part, okay? So this is the auditory reactive part that you're training, okay? Or the external stimuli that you're adding to your session. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 and 4 are going to be side shuffles. 1 is going to be a forward sprint and a back pedal. 3 is going to be a back pedal with a forward sprint. What I can do is I can get an app that's going to randomly call out numbers between 1 to 4. Okay, so it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, whatever it is, okay? Or you can record yourself a video of you saying the numbers in random order, giving yourself enough time to get back to the middle for each one. So say it's 1, 3, 4, 2, okay? Enough time, enough break for you to get out to the cone and back before the next number called, and you react to it, okay? Now, obviously, we visually watch something, but we also listen, okay? So your auditory and your visual senses. With the color one, what you can do is, and for the number one, you would just set up a speaker and you just have it blaring out, okay? But we also, for the visual one, we can use the color one. So I can set up a tripod, and you can still do this with the video, but I doubt it's as effective. But I could have a color associated with each cone. So it could be blue, yellow, green, or red, okay? And again, I'm looking at the tripod, I'm looking at my phone, wherever it is. When I see blue, I'm going to sprint out, back pedal. When I see red, I go out to the left and back, okay? I can also do this where instead of having colors, that I have numbers, okay? And I just hold up the numbers, okay? So you've gotten to the best part, the final part of this video. How do you plan out your agility session, okay? So here's how we're going to do it. The first thing every agility session, every training session needs to have is a plan, okay? And the plan needs to focus on what you're weak at. We want to get better at it so we can perform better in the field. So for this session, we're going to be focusing on the side shuffle, okay? Or the lateral shuffle, whatever you want to call it. So if I'm a basketball player and I'm defending, same thing, okay, same movement. If I'm a soccer player and I'm jockeying or defending, same thing, okay? We want to improve on it. The first thing that we want to work on, and the first drill that should be working on, is our change of direction, okay? Now, with this, we're just simply focusing on the movement and we're trying to improve our accuracy, okay? So you always want to focus on accuracy first. So we're just working on the basic movement patterns. So we're going to do the 5-10-5 drill. We're just going to side shuffle across, back through the middle, okay? Want to make sure that we're focusing on making sure our legs don't cross, and second is that we're staying low so we can get the pushing power we need to improve, okay? So we're becoming accurate in the movement itself. The second thing I want to work on is the change of velocity, okay? So this is going to be your speed in which you do that. So same drill, you're just going to do it a lot faster, and you're going to use a timer. So you're going to collect your time, you're going to do this drill as fast as you can, and then time yourself, okay? So the first one you got, say, 4.69, your goal is to beat that time. Similar to speed, similar to anything that we're trying to improve, okay? Especially when it comes to athleticism, strength, whatever it is. You always want to focus on accuracy first, then your speed. So your warm-up's really important. You want to make sure that you're including the movement patterns that you're going to be doing. So in this case, we're working on change direction, we're working on side shuffle, we improved our accuracy in performing it, now we're going to add the speed and try to get better at it, okay? Now, once we've done that, and say we've done 3 rounds, we've beaten our time, The last thing, or the next thing we want to improve on or include is the external stimulus. Now, like I said, this is the thing that's going to help us translate our training sessions to our game, okay, and our sports performance. With this, like I said, if you're training by yourself, it's going to be a lot different than versus if you just have a partner. If you're training by yourself, okay, the external stimulus can just be, like I said, the alarm going off, okay? So you set a timer. When the alarm goes off, you do the same drill and you time it, okay? Because you timed it, now you have something you got to beat, so your intensity is going to stay high and the competition is going to be between yourself and your best, and your goal is trying to beat that. So you're still including the external stimulus, you're still trying to go as fast as you can, and you're still trying to keep it accurate, okay, in terms of your method and how you do it, okay? Now, there's 4 ways in which you can train the external stimuli once you have, hopefully, somebody with you, okay? So, train a partner for this example. There's 4 ways. The first is going to be a mirror drill, okay? So, how we do this is we're still using the same 5-10-5 drill. I'm going to have my partner here and I'm going to be here. I'm going to do exactly what they do. And again, the goal is side shuffling. So that's all we're going to be doing. If he side shuffles left, I'm going the same way. If he goes right, I'm going the same way. My goal is within 10 seconds. And the reason we're 10 seconds again is same with speed. We want to keep the energy super high so we can improve on the movements and the speed in which we do that. Ending past 10 seconds is just going to make us slower and sloppier and enforce bad habits. We want to have as much energy as we can to improve our performance, okay? So we're going to do this for about 10 seconds and then we switch, okay? And again, when it comes to your reps, sets, you probably want to hit about 2 of each. 2 is enough to get the gains, okay? Anything past 4, 5 is just, again, you're just burning energy over time and it's just going to make you slower. The second one is we can do a chase drill, okay? So same drill, except now we've added gates, okay? So we're going to start here, partner's going to be here, and I'm going to be standing in front of the gate, okay? So we'll start in line with this, okay? All I'm allowed to do is side shuffle from right to left. He's allowed to run forward, back, spin move, whatever, okay? And again, we keep it at 10 seconds. His goal is to get through the gate. My goal is to catch him, okay? All I can do is side shuffle. I can't go forward, can't go back. All I can do is go right to left. So a chase drill is another one that we can do to train agility, okay? The third one that we can do is we can do a dodge drill, okay? So we can do either the same drill where we just switch. Now I'm trying to dodge him, he's trying to chase me. So we're both getting 2 and 3, okay? But in this case, I'm just going to do a different one. Let's say I just set up a 10-yard, okay? So it's still the pro agility, I just took out the middle part. I'm standing here, my partner's here, about 5 yards away, and he's got a bunch of tennis balls, okay? And all he's going to do is he's just going to start rolling them straight at me, okay? And again, we keep it at 10 seconds. My goal is to dodge the balls without getting hit. That's my goal. I'm dodging. It's fun. It's effective, okay? The last thing that we can do then is score. So we can do the same drill. We can do the 5-10-5, the chase drill, whatever. All we just need to do is keep score. We can do best out of 3. That way then, it's going to be the following, okay? We're going to make sure that with the score drill, that 3 things happen, okay? We're going to make sure that it's competitive, okay? All sports are competitive, yeah? So we want to improve competition. It's going to help then in drive intensity, okay? So how hard we're working, how fast we're running, how quickly we're changing direction, that's going to improve. These 2 alone are going to help. But more importantly, we want to make sure that it's fun, okay? Most training sessions, almost all of them, should be fun, okay? If they're not fun, it's usually the tough, ugly work that you need to get through that's going to give you that 1%, 2% to be better, right? So, and it's usually the conditioning ones. But as long as you have these three, your sessions are going to be great and are going to be effective and are going to help to translate onto your field or sport performance. And that's the goal with every single training session, is we want to ensure that what we're taking from training is being translated into our game. In review, let's go over everything, okay? Remember, there's 4 things that we need to include in our training to make sure that it's effective and it's actually hitting agility the way we need it to. There needs to be a change in direction or velocity, okay? But that alone isn't enough. We need to make sure that there's an external stimulus that we're responding to, okay? And our response includes 2 types. There's going to be the controlled movement response and there's going to be the random movement response, okay? And the last thing is, we need to make sure that includes the following. It needs to have competition. It needs to be intense. And more importantly, it needs to be fun. If you have all these 4 in your training sessions, when it comes to agility, this in total will translate to your field or sport performance. So if you like this video, you like this topic, go ahead and like, follow and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And don't forget, I don't know where I was going with that. Peace.